Greetings, Soul Tribe. Another explanation for you. So, this one is going to be, once again, the Nine Fathers Parable, or the Nine Great Fathers Parable. This time I'm going to label and describe it to you from the flesh to the spirit. Last time I labeled and described it to you from the spirit to the flesh. This time, flesh to the spirit. So, what do I mean by flesh to the spirit? Or what do I mean by from going to labeling and describing something from the physical to the spirit? Now, always remember, everything that I am doing and or saying will be in a parable-like manner, even though, even some of those foul things I would say, per se. But certain people have certain star energies or star qualities in this world that I admire and I wish to embellish within my life. Remember, me personally, what I desire to do is to live in the characteristical ways of the spirit, which are love, integrity, and progression without disturbance. I desire to live within the characteristical ways of the spirit and or the characteristical behavior of the spirit, which is love, integrity, and progression without disturbance. So that means I wish to live in peace, love, unity, and progression or advancement, or always moving forward. This is what I wish to live in. You follow me? So I label and describe things that I am labeling and describing that'll give and or move the world to a different disposition, if it may, and cause what is around me to give me what I want, which is my ability to live within peace, love, unity, and advancement. The ways of the spirit are love, integrity, and progression. And those ways live without disturbance. So, the Nine Great Fathers Parable, physical to the spirit. What do I mean by physical to the spirit? This is how you label and describe something known as the current of manifestation. The current of manifestation, speaking with a frequency that goes from the flesh to the spirit, or from the physical to the spirit, and or it raises your spiritual vibrations upwards to the point where they'll never be able to come down ever again. And the main way you do this is by bringing awareness to how and or what stature or state your spiritual powers and or spiritual powers are in. Having awareness of the state in which your spiritual powers are in gives you awareness of the powers you are, period. If that makes sense to you. Because you are one and the same thing with your spiritual powers. So if you gain some awareness of your spiritual powers, you yourself will become your spiritual powers. You yourself will become the spiritual being in which you are. You're not human, you're spiritual. You're not a human being, you are a spiritual being. And I can prove this to you in a whole lot of infinite ways. For the record, this power cannot be given to anyone because this power is infinite. How can you possibly give away something that is infinite? It's an infinite power. Yeah, sure, it's only one power, but it's an infinite power. So even if I give it away, I'll still have an infinite amount of left, or infinite amount more left over. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm just going to give you as much of this power as I can possibly give you, despite current physicality settings that may possibly hinder my abilities to give it to you, if this also makes sense to you. So, from the flesh and or from the physical to the spirit, the Nine Great Fathers Parable, the Nine Great Father Energy Parable, the Nine Great Fathers. I'm just going to say what they are. I'm just going to say what ranks each slot to be each slot, if that makes sense to you. So the first slot, the Earth Star Chakra. Remember, spiritual. It's all spiritual. Everything I say is in parables. Everything I say. And what do I label and describe a parable to be? A short story used to label and describe moral and or spiritual upliftance. And how do you raise your spiritual vibrations? By learning more. And by hearing things that coexist and or mesh with who and or what you are truly. resonate, in other words, resonate with your high spiritual, vibrational, natural state, if that makes sense to you. I pray I don't lose you with these words. But then simultaneously, most of my words are for the enemy of the world anyways. Moral and/or spiritual upliftance. The more you learn, the more you rise. The more I tell you things about yourself that you never heard about yourself, the more it brings awareness to you about yourself and the magnificent qualities of you thereof. And the more you know about your magnificent qualities, I always speak at a foundational level. This is why I talk the way I talk. This is another reason why I talk the way I talk. I just speak at a foundational level, or I speak foundation tongue, or what another way you can label and describe something known as destruction tongue. It's foundation tongue. As I keep saying, I say things like destroy, but then I go off the literal meaning of the word destroy. And the literal meaning of the word destroy, or at least a definition of it, is to ruin someone emotionally or spiritually. The thing is, if I ruin you all emotionally or spiritually, especially the way you are currently, you want to know what I ruin? Those 9 negative principalities in which this 9 great father energies parables are in constituent with, which is another reason why I want to tell you this parable out loud multiple times, because it gives more power to the world and/or gives me and you more abilities to destroy the dark principalities in which govern our world. I'm just going to say some things out loud that will contribute or may contribute to that cause. Because if the 9 negative principalities within you all, my dear family, are eradicated, deracinated, meaning uproot from its political stance and desecrated on sight and/or disintegrated on sight and/or eliminated on sight, the 9 negative principalities, meaning I don't want your physical bodies. If those 9 principalities are eliminated within my family's mind heart spaces, what's causing them to be governed towards war, hatred, division, and stagnates will no longer be governing them towards war, hatred, division, and stagnates. Meaning you'll no longer live in a way that's completely opposite of mine. You'll live in my way, or the way I desire to live amongst you, the way I desire to live around you. You'll live the same way I desire to live, which will give me a way to live around you the way I desire to live around you. If this makes sense to you, moving forward. So, the 9 negative principalities need to be destroyed in 9 mind heart spaces by any moral means necessary. This is a way to do it. Just telling you about them and telling you how I'm going to get rid of them. So, let's talk about these 9 negative principalities that are taking you away from who you all truly are and preventing me from being able to live in the world, literal world that I desire to live in. I'm just going to say a few things. Document some words. Document some thoughts. Here we go. So, the first slot belongs to what could be labeled and described as the Earth Star Chakra. Remember, I'm going from the physical to the all the way spiritual, or the source. I'm going from the physical to the source. I'm going from the physical to the spirit. The current of manifestation is what this could be labeled and described as. You want to know another example of why this could be called the current of manifestation? Is because I'm bringing you awareness of your natural characteristics. I'm bringing you awareness of your natural divine characteristics. I'm bringing you awareness of them. The more awareness you gain of them, the more you will begin to act out what they are by force. You won't even have a choice. It'll be too hard for you to resist the absolute charge of doing the right thing and doing the right thing only. No more problems from any one of you on this planet. I'm not after just one country. I'm after your entire world. Because then the only way I'm going to be able to get out of this hell firmly and completely is if I do it through all of the people of the world. Look up all the definitions of what the world literally means, and you'll see why I say the negative principalities of the world, 9 of them in total. Jealousy is the source of them all. But here, I'm going to start from the physical and go to the spirit. From the physical to the spirit. Because labeling and describing these characteristics out loud and how they're going to mesh with this story and why this story is important for these characteristics will connect you, and they'll reconnect you with the original way of who and or what you are. My way. I'm not better than you. My way is better than your way. And because you feel like your negative evil way is you, you feel like I am. Because you feel like my way is me. It's not me. It's just a lifestyle I can live. Meaning it's something that my life form or my spiritual being can behave as. My life form and or spiritual being. My life form and or spiritual being. Notice how I'm saying that for a second before I go on again. Life is one entire dimensional thing to measure. Life is. But here's the thing. Life has something known as a form that it wears and it puts on as a meat suit. T.D. Jakes would call it a meat sack. But if you look at a word that can label and describe what this actually is, it means an incarnation or an avatar. So that means the form is the incarnation of the life, or the spiritual, or the spirit. The being is the incarnation of the spirit. The form is an incarnation of life. Life form, spiritual being. Or you could say spiritual form, life being. You follow what I'm saying? They're each one-dimensional thing to measure. But when you get closer to the life, you'll find infinite things to measure, like the stars thereof, and the soul thereof, and the light thereof. Or when you get closer to the being, which is also one dimension from a distance, but when you get closer to the being in which the life and or spirit is incarnate within, or the form in which the life or spirit is incarnate within, you'll find multiple things to measure. For the main thing I see is three things on the being. That is the being's thoughts, feelings, and actions. I see the things that can be measured on the being through their thoughts, feelings, and actions. How can you read someone's thoughts, their reactions? By way of their reactions. That's how our dear sisters read us, by way of our body movements, because their eyes are always on us. Our women are always making the first eye contact with us. Like, let's say, for example, if you're somewhere in a place and she happens to walk in, if you are deprived and or do not have your attachments properly laced or connected to your basic needs, like your principle, your true principle of the universe right now, for example, as I'm getting ready to get into later, when you don't have proper attachment to your basic needs, one of our sisters could walk in and cause you to do what is known or what can be labeled and described as spiritual contact. Not being contact or not spiritual being contact, just the spirit alone. There's two things you can measure. A spirit is something you can measure alone, and the being is something you can measure alone. The spirit can be labeled and described as the stars, the light, and the universe. The stars, the light, and the universe, or the chemicals and the elements and the compounds. Many, many, many things. You follow what I'm saying? And then the person could be measured with three things: thoughts, feelings, actions, or their mind, heart, and body. Their state, their physical state they're in, or their arms and legs. Many, many, many things. You follow what I'm saying? Now, what I'm ultimately getting at is this. Spiritual contact. It doesn't require the being's connections. It's just our physical bodies due to what our spirits are right now, especially on top of a world that is not ours. When our women walk into a place and they look at you, spiritual contact, it'll cause your body and or your head to look directly at her in her eyes, as if she was calling your name and telling you to look directly into her eyes. And then you'll see her looking at you and get a little bit more attracted to her, just like that. I know, right? But that's just one of the things, though. Spiritual contact. The first slot is of the Earth Star chakra. The sin of the Earth Star chakra right now, or one of the 9 deadly sins, or the 9-fold sin hierarchy that I made up to label and describe this parable more effectively. It is ignorance. It's ignorance. Ignorance of the heart. is the fear of the Most High God. Ignorance of the heart is the fear of the Most High God, meaning fear and ignorance are one and the same. The more ignorance you have of the heart is the more ignorance you will have of the true Most High God of the universe. The more ignorance you have of the heart is the fear, is the guaranteed more ignorance or more fear that you will have of the true Most High Father. I guarantee it. Because without that ignorance, you ain't fearing God. I guarantee you that. You gonna love, utilize, respect, and walk within the nature of God for all the days of your life. You just need to be reminded of Him. You just need to be reminded of it. You just need to be reminded of the power thereof. That's the main thing you need to be reminded of, the power thereof. And this 9 Great Father Energy Hierarchy Parable is exactly what's going to do that. Relieve you completely of your ignorance, or at least bring you closer to ignorance relief as much as possible. That's exactly what this is going to do. The first slot of the 9 Fathers Hierarchy is the Earth Star Chakra. But here's the thing. That's just the spirit, though. The Earth Star Chakra is what spirit. What is the physical father? What is the being of this parable? Because spiritually, it's the Earth Star Chakra. Being-wise, it's the Father. Spiritually, it's the Earth Star Chakra. Being-wise, it's the Father. Who's the father of this slot, then? My own brother. Mine own brother. Now, why do I use my brother as an example in this parable here? Simple. Here's the unique and one simple phrase in regards to why I desire to place mine own brother into this slot. Because once he gains more knowledge, he will become a magnificent father in every way possible. But here's the reality. Once you all gain more knowledge, you will all become magnificent fathers in every way possible. This is what I know for a fact in regards to mine own kind, mine own people. The more you learn, the stronger you get. Not the madder you get, the smarter you get, or the more intelligent. I don't like the word smart necessarily. Don't put an SM by my art. My art is not small, it is infinite. Moving forward. So, the first spiritual being on this list, and or the first great father on this list, due to how we are direct constituents of the source of all moral authority, and or the source of all power and creation and fire and lightning thereof. Due to us, the 2 words, due to how our connection to them, spiritual beings are the great fathers. Spiritual beings, life forms, 2 dimensions to look at. My brother is a spiritual being and or a life form. 2 words to label and describe one essence and or one creature. That if once said creature can demonstrate what it is like to receive more knowledge in regards to who and or what he truly is thereof, the more the enlightenment will consume thine footsteps. The heart of hearts is the principle of all reality. The heart of hearts is the principle of all reality. Once we all remember these things, we will begin to stand upon virtues, in a sense, and or our ignorance of who and or what we are will be completely lifted and eradicated from what we are. You see, this is how we get rid of the 9 deadly sins. This is one of the ways right here. The life form, my brother, and the Earth Star Chakra. That's the constituent there to make this make more sense. Is it one? It's not necessarily a bizarre story, because here's the thing. My brother and the planet are essentially the same things. My brother and the planet are essentially the same things. They're both life forms. The planet itself is a life form. My brother himself is a life form. They are both spiritual beings. They both are. You follow me? So, this great father parable, because greatness, the energy of greatness is within my brother. And the magnificent father is going to manifest through him, as well as all of you, its energy thereof, to claim your footsteps for all the days of your life. All of them. You'll never not be able to do better than what you were originally doing before I started talking and saying things out loud. You'll never go back to the wasteland ways of the devil. You'll never go back to disgust and putting cannibalism videos online, showing how much you enjoy consuming other people. Not talking to you, my good brother. Speaking to the body of the enemy, in which plagued our mind heart spaces, to where we would be out of our principal standings and or our original selves to begin with. But here, back to the hierarchy. I want to stick with this explanation for a moment. So, it's in the physical now, so stick with, but in the spiritual, stick in. Spiritual, physical, stick with. I'm gonna stick with this explanation for a minute. Physical to the astral, or physical to the spirit. So, the significance of that story, the significance of the first slot, the Great Father, Earth Star Chakra, my brother. The significance of that story just rests in this one statement right here. Once you all know better, you will do better. Once you all know better, you will do better. Just that simple. So, tell you things. Mix it up in ways that I can tell you things that'll ensure you will have no other option but to learn more and be better after your learning. I can be too much. I can. And you want to know something? I know this about myself. I know every little minute detail about me. I do. So I'm just going to weaponize every aspect in order for this to work. What else I got? What you got? You got something? Moving forward. So, the next life form on the list, or the next spiritual being on the list, is not necessarily a being or even physical or real at all. It's just the characteristical traits that I desire to manifest into your reality. Current of manifestation, you see, describing our powers from the physical to the spirit, gives our powers a chance to be in our reality. Manifestation, you see, just by describing it. The current of manifestation is what, I don't want to butcher her name. Her last name is Judith, though, I know that. Moving forward. So the next father, the next great father on this list, you may not consider him a great father. He actually kind of isn't. It's just a characteristical trait to him. Certain characteristical traits to him that can be applied to this here game hierarchy, or this here parable that I made up, that I'm using some things from my history to make it make more sense and make it be somewhat more effective or lucrative even, you follow me? But it's a video game character. It's a video game character that I took and I just applied to this here parable, because there are certain characteristical traits that I gathered or that I learned from of this specific video game character, and the things that he said, and some of the video games from way back in 2017 or 15 or whenever was the last time I had desires and or access to playing games, I guess what I can tell you. You follow me? I don't like to play games at all anymore. It's just, there's one more game that needs to be played, and this game has an ending to it. And if I play it effectively enough, it can bring an ending to what I needed to bring an ending to. And there will never be another game being played on me ever again, or any member of my species. That is the future I pray for. This is the future I desire to manifest. And so this is the future I am going to keep on speaking into reality. Current of manifestation. More words. Who is this character? What is his life? And who is the form? What's the character's life and who's the character's form? The character's life is the root chakra, and the character's form is Kazuya Mishima from Tekken. Primarily Tekken 2, because I'm real old. Well, not old as most would assume, but old according to the current world standard of belief system in regard to what is old. So, Kazuya Mishima is the next form on the Great Father parable, whereas its life is the root chakra. What's Kazuya Mishima's sin? What lore or world is he from? This character named Kazuya is from Tekken, and there is a specific line from this here Kazuya character that adds more significance to this part of the story than anything. So, this root chakra Kazuya Mishima, or the Great Father attached to this specific part of the hierarchy, his sin is greed. His sin will be greed. And also the belief system pillar that connects with this hierarchy is racism. But I'm going to save that for another video. Here, the Great Father parable. So what can I assume what could I connect? How can I reconnect to my heart of hearts chakra by using something that Kazuya, the form, did or said and keep him connected to that of my root chakra information? How can I? Well, for one, when you do more information on the 9 choirs of angels hierarchy, you'll find that the archangel slot sits within the 8th of the hierarchy chart. The 8th, meaning it's the second from the lowest. But if you count it from the flesh to the spirit, it's the second from the highest on the hierarchy listing. You follow me, if that makes sense to you? Or it'll be the second one on the list from the angels to the archangels. So, an archangel. What is an archangel? The word arch, first off, means chief. Chief is like a controller of a village, or a government of a village, or a demander, or one in charge of something, one who gives the directions and the way to go for it. You follow me? And then the word angel means spiritual being. It's literally what it defines as. Spiritual meaning the life, being meaning the form. Spiritual being the life, being the avatar or the incarnation. That's what an angel is, a spiritual being. So, a chief angel, or a chief spiritual being, or a commanding spiritual being, or a in control spiritual being. I am a spiritual being in control of mine own spiritual being. I am a spiritual being in control of mine own spiritual being. But here's the thing though, I have certain powers hooked up all to me that connects directly to the source, the true most high God of the universe, meaning the soul of the universe, in which gives me my abilities to say I have control over mine own well-being, or no, my control over mine own self. And it just so happens that this energy that gives me my control over me is all for peace, love, unity, and progression, all in one. So in other words, without disturbance does this energy live within love, integrity, and progression. This energy, once again, what I like to label and describe as Great Father energy. This Great Father energy lives without disturbance as it walks within love, integrity, and constant progression. And ain't nothing trying to knock it out of that character, nothing trying to knock it off of that desire, and nothing is trying to keep it away from what it was destined to live in. Except the energy and or the negative force in which is outside of it, trying to ensure that these negative sin principalities get inside of it to ensure it does not, to ensure it cannot move the way it intends to move at all. You follow me? Deprive you of your basic needs, deprive you of your human rights, deprive you of whatever it can deprive you of to ensure you cannot move the way you intend to move. First, they got to find out, what do you do? And or how and or why do you move the way you move in every way possible, so the enemy can get in there and disturb it. And it don't matter how long it takes. You just only live to destroy everything I am. That's all you live to do, is destroy everything I am. And you only wish to destroy everything I am without any disturbance as you do so. So that means you desire to live in war, hatred, division, and stagnance without disturbance. You want peace, war, hatred, division, and stagnance. That's what you want. I want peace, love, unity, and advancement. That's what I want. But due to me being so hardcore hooked on this desire to just have it be in my life by any Moral means necessary, meaning nothing immoral or unethical will I do to accomplish this goal, because I don't need to, for one. You're always attacking me, so if I take you out for charging at me, that'll be some kind of self-defense right or law that I should have, right? We all know that you robbed us of all of our human rights, but at any rate, spiritually, I desire to live the way the Spirit does. Here, however, though, you all are against that in every way possible due to the evil teaching you to be so. And due to the evil teaching you to be against what I am naturally, you feel like my way, once you actually hear it and see me trying to live it, you'll feel like it's evil. You'll feel like someone who sees the heart of hearts as its principle. You'll feel like one who desires to stand on the heart of hearts principles is evil. That's what you'll feel like. The heart of hearts principles are all virtuous. The heart of hearts principles are virtuous. And due to me having a desire to stand on these traits and these traits alone, you'll deem me as someone evil. Why? Because in this world, everything that is truly good, you all classify as evil. And everything of this world that is truly evil, you classify as good. But that was the trick talk. They wanted to hang you and switch you around and flip you up and turn you into someone that'll see nature turned against you while enjoying it. That's what they want. That's what they made you. And now that's what you are. Someone who is going to call someone like me evil because I do not wish to live the way you all wish to live in any way possible. Or should I say in every way possible? Still making this up as I go. So, there is a significant line from said Kazuya Mishima in the video game known as Tekken 4, in which he said these words out loud that I take and apply to this story. Not only that, but all the other constituents of his story thereof. But then there's this one unique line right here in which he said, I am what you would refer to as devil. I am what you would refer to as devil. You want to know what else? I have something known as a chakra tree Murdy parable. In this chakra tree Murdy parable, there's a third eye chakra, a throat chakra, and a heart chakra. Those three chakras, those specific three chakras, when you study their properties thoroughly and properly and profoundly, you'll find that those three chakras are what you would refer to as Jesus Christ. What you would refer to, those three chakras, in their one form, you will refer to those things as Jesus Christ. Trust that energy, not me. Because you're going to refer to me as the devil because of how much I despise every way that you are and everything that you want to be like. I am against you and everything that you are and everything that you want to be like in every way possible. Why? Because everything that you are and everything that you want to be like is war, hatred, division, and stagnance in peace. Everything that I am and everything that I want to be like is peace, love, unity, and advancement in peace. Double peace. Respective love. Balanced integrity and progressive advancement. This is what I want. I desire these things for myself personally, but what you all want is for me to have the opposite of this in every way possible. And if I don't want what you all want, you classify me as evil. So I am what you would refer to as devil. So be it. Yeah, I am the enemy. So be it. I want a good life. You don't want me to good life. You don't want me to have a good life. Why? No reason. But the thing is, you're still executing the nonsensical desires of seeing me live without a proper life. I am telling you, spiritually and physically now, burn in the HE double hockey sticks that you want me to burn in. You burn in that, not me. I'm getting out by any moral means necessary. And this parable is going to label and describe a way in order for me to get out of the burning and the suffering in which you only want me to stay in for no reason at all. What do you call someone who wants you to suffer and burn for no reason at all? Pure evil. That's pure evil right there. Someone who's against moral standards. Because morally, I desire to stand on the virtues of the heart. But morally, you all desire to stand on something that will stop me from doing this. But because of my resistance towards your desires and your ways, you classify this specific person as evil. And due to this entire world being that of your foundation and that of your platform, you evil, true evil, the way you have my family members programmed to believe someone like me, if I come around, I am dangerous, I am destruction, I am wickedness, I am evil. This is what you would classify someone like me to be. I am not these things at all. How could you dislike someone you don't even know? But now I don't care to prove anything to you anymore. I don't. You want to know something? I am wickedry towards your ways of wickedry. I am evil towards your ways of evil. But what am I truly? The ways of the spirit and the soul, which is what you all are completely against in every way possible. You grew up on a foundation of world that is against the spirit soul's ways in every way possible. All you know of is how to be against the true nature of the spirit soul in every way possible. I am the true nature of the spirit soul, but I am not at the same time. So that means you all are against me in every way possible, and I am against you in every way possible. However, it's still your world, not mine own. If this was my world, I'd be known as the beacon of light within it. I'd be known as the light of the universe within it. I wouldn't necessarily be known as a morning star, but I would be known as a grand star, a great star, an angel star, a star angel. In reality, all of the angels are stars, like the earth star chakra. We and the earth are one and the same thing, life forms. Stars are life forms and stars in the night sky that we see all at the same time. All stemming from one source, all one life force. Life force. The light of the universe. And or what you would label and describe as a quantum vacuum. All stemming from that place. This is not greed here. I don't have greed. But the awareness of these character traits and the awareness of how to accept them and why you'll have to accept other factors that'll come with the labeling and describing of the public along with these characteristical traits. When you accept them, you'll for one see that you are not the greed, but then you'll simultaneously see what the people want you to be, or what the people feel like you are for not wanting to stand on certain principles at the times or on points that you would stand on the said principles. People are going to label and describe you as something negative and evil if you wish to be something good and positive. And the reason why is because they grew up in a world of negative and evil. Which is why when something good and positive comes around, all they can see it to be is something negative and evil. So due to how I'm going to trick talk you all into stopping what you are doing towards me, I'm just going to accept it. But not 100%, of course. So what do you call that then? Because I'm not about to accept anything you want me to be. I'm not even accepting anything I'm calling myself 100%. I just said I was the devil. I don't even fully believe that. Like I said, I'm just saying things. Trick talking you all into doing better for all the days of your life. Did you know You actually don't worship a satanic figure, speaking for some certain people who may believe this. You don't worship a satanic figure. Yeah, sure. The gods you're worshiping, the Lord God you're worshiping in your church services on Sunday is not the gods you should be worshiping at all. It is a devil, but is it Satan or Lucifer? No. Actually, this Satan character is none of the devils you believe he is to be. He was just another one of our ancestors. Logically speaking, archangel, Lucifer is an archangel, Satan is an archangel. So who is this God then? Or who is this wrong entity that the world is worshiping right now then, if it's not Satan? You want to know what it is? Just a demon. It's not Satan, it's not Lucifer. It's just a very, very evil force of nature. That's what it is. You are not worshiping Satan. When you begin to uncover the truth, you'll feel like you're worshiping Satan because the devil keeps telling you every day of your lives to believe Satan is dangerous, Satan is a devil, and Satan is a demon. Why does it have to keep reminding you? Why does your religion have to keep reminding you every day, hey, listen, believe Satan is the bad guy. Believe Satan is the bad guy. Why does your religion have to keep reminding you of this every day? Every day it has to keep reminding you of this. Why is that? Why does it have to continuously cram that message into your head, yet continuously cram a message into your head of a benevolent God who is destroying everybody's lives? Why is that? I mean, I know the answers now. I'm just asking the questions out loud because nobody else is going to. Nobody else even knows the answers to this degree like I do. Maybe as some of you out there, I just heard Will Smith's song saying you're not alone. I highly doubt that for me, Will Smith. Oh, the rest of you so-called chosen ones, I ain't no chosen one, I'm a moral center. The rest of you so-called chosen people, descendants of the 144,000 white folks, the rest of you, you can feel like you may be alone and then hear the words of a Will Smith song saying you're not alone, your inner child is just throwing a tantrum. For one, I don't believe this energy in me is a child. This energy in me has no gender at all. I am the only person that knows these things. I am the only one that knows it to this degree. I guarantee you I am. You'll see. Moving forward, though. So yeah, the significance of the Kazuya Mishima father on this parable here. Who was Kazuya Mishima the father of? A character named Jin Kazama in the story. The significance of the reconnection that this specific great father will give me is that one line. I am what you would refer to as devil. But why do you want to be referred to as something so evil and negative and wicked and disgusting energy like? Because the energy that I am only going to stand on and represent for all the days of my life from here on forward is a really positive, good, and great energy that the demons who have control over this world would tell you all is evil. So I'm just going to use it against them in every way possible so I can reconnect with my Father's principle, my divine Father's principle, my true Father's principle, the principle of the universe. The next Father on this list, or the next life form, the next great Father. Who's the next great Father on this list? Mine own personal Father. I'm going to make the rest of them quick because I didn't want to talk too long. I really didn't. So, the next Father on this list is mine own personal Father. Mine own personal Father. Another very simple connection, or another very simple reconnect line, or reconnect scenario, or reconnect statistic to label and describe with this Father. But first, who is the life? What is the life of this specific slot? The life of this specific spot on the hierarchy is the sacral chakra, and the form of this specific slot on this hierarchy is mine own personal Father. Now, the significance of this one, it ties into the virtuous angels being on the 7 hierarchy list and the principalities being on the 5th one. This is where it ties into most, because it's like, if we knew these things, once again, also tying to the ignorance, all the 9 deadly sins tie together on this hierarchy right here, because they all come from the same source of evil, jealousy. But here, the virtuous angel, first of all, what's the sin? What's the sin on this list? I gotta tell you, it's lust. The sin on this list is lust. I don't need to go too further into details. Put some things together and figure it out. So, mine own personal father. What's the significance and or the reconnect lines of this here slot on the hierarchy that'll reconnect you to the heart of hearts principle? What are the lines? The lines are simple. Because of how much the information has been revamped, the virtues angel no longer rests its qualities and or traits according to our knowledge in the sacral chakra. It rests in the principalities according to how St. Pope Gregory I switched it up. So that means the negative principalities and or principalities, the principalities angels, whoever they are, we don't even know who the principalities angels are. We just know that the word principalities is right there on the 7th spot when it's supposed to be in the 5th spot. We don't even know the principalities of the world, do we? We don't even know what principalities are. We don't even know what principalities is. We just know it's right there. Do you even know what the 9 choirs of angels hierarchy is? Do you even know? Well, that's what the purpose of this parable is going to do. It's going to bring you awareness of all those things all in once. Everything. All in once. So here's what I'm ultimately getting at. If the heart of hearts was our principle of reality, then virtues would have been the principles we stand on. And if we were learned and or taught of these things for our entire lives growing up, once I said the significant reconnection line or the significant reconnection words, if we knew that virtues were our principles growing up, all the things that we committed unto our children and or all of the mouths outside of our line of thinking telling us to raise our children the way we should raise our children would have been disregarded. They all would have been. I want to share something with you real quick. Something I like to call the chakra tree Murdy parable before I go on. The chakra tree Murdy parable. This will make more sense to you if I explain this to you. What is the chakra tree Murdy parable? First of all, what does the word tree Murdy even mean? The word tree Murdy in Sanskrit means 3 forms. 3 forms. So 3 specific life forms. When you measure a form, you can find 3 things about it that are very significant. The form's mind state, the form's heart state, and the form's physical state. Mind, heart, body. Everything with a form has those specific 3 things to measure about them. It has a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and a physical body in which the avatar and or the subconscious mind and the conscious mind are residing within. You follow me? So the chakra tree Murdy parable, I have it set up like this. I'm going to label and describe it from the spirit to the flesh. So the conscious mind, the 3 forms, what are they though? Real quick. The 3 forms are the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's inspired by the Christian Trinity, but it's also inspired by the Hinduism's Tree Murdy, meaning Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Those 3. So Brahma being the Father in this parable, if you want to compare it and contrast it that way. Vishnu being the Son in this parable, if you want to compare it and contrast it that way. And Shiva being the Holy Spirit, if you want to compare it and contrast it that way. So the conscious mind of Brahma would be labeled and described as the soul star chakra. That's Brahma's conscious mind, if you want to compare it and contrast it this way to make it make more sense. Brahma's conscious mind is the soul star chakra. Brahma's subconscious mind is the crown chakra, and Brahma's physical body is the earth star chakra itself. Are you saying that your brother is God then? The God, since you want to say that the life is the earth star chakra and the form is your brother for that their hierarchy? No. The earth star chakra is literally the Most High God's form. meaning all of the other planets that are like this planet we are on are all the Most High God's physical form, meaning God is an angel through the planets, if you also want to look at it that way. But then you also have the other two. What are the other two forms? The Son and the Holy Spirit, yeah? Meaning Vishnu and Shiva. So what are Vishnu's forms? What's Vishnu's three? Vishnu's will be the third eye chakra, thus the Vishuddha, and the heart chakra. Meaning, the third eye chakra is Vishnu's conscious mind. The throat chakra is Vishnu's subconscious mind. And the heart chakra is Vishnu's physical, non-physical body. And if you also know and or have studied the things I have studied, you'll also connect Brahma and Vishnu to being all of the gods we have studied upon throughout our history, meaning all of the Egyptian gods. They come from the same life force, that Brahma Vishnu life force. They all come from that same life force, the Brahma Vishnu life force. Or they all come from the light of the universe and or the soul of the universe. The light soul of the universe. They all come from that same source. So that means Yahweh Shai, Horus, Osiris, Yeshua, Emmanuel, Christ, Enki, Yahusha, Ra, Thothar, Odin, all come from that same life force. All of those physical bodies came from that same life. They all did. I just want to share that with you before I move forward on the sacral chakras explanation. So, the third one. Before I move on, though, let me finish this one right quick. The third one. What are the third forms? Who is the third form? Shiva and or the Holy Spirit, right? But it's also many other things in the physical other than just Shiva and the Holy Spirit. You want to know what else is in the physical? Us. So, what is our forms? 3 chakras. The solar plexus being our conscious mind, the sacral chakra being our subconscious mind, and the root chakra being our physical body. The sacral chakra being our subconscious mind, the sacral chakra being our subconscious mind. Notice the 9 choirs of angels hierarchy. Virtues, if you look at it the original way and don't swap it around or switch it up like Pope Gregory I did, virtues lands on the sacral chakras information. Virtues lands on the sacral chakras information. Look up what the word virtuous means so you can see why we should have been standing on virtuous principles our entire lives. But we haven't. Want to know why? Because we were standing on the negative principalities of the world. Which is why if you went through anything that you went through as a child with your father or anything else in your history, it's because of the world's negative, evil principalities. For we do not war against flesh and blood. We war against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we war against. Forgive your parents for everything that they may have caused and or afflicted unto you in your lifespan. For it truly was not their fault. It was the fault of the wicked in the high places. In the high places. In the high places. Acting like they have wings and flying over the world. My divine character traits are not of a bunch of white people with eagle's wings. Just because they reside in high places and are giving us high orders to do wrong with our lives at all times like they did my father and many other fathers in this world, doesn't mean that they should be seen as angels. They are not angels. Angels do not have wings. Angels do not even have bodies. Angels are the stars of the universe. Angels are the stars of the universe. Now, in the chakras are aspects and or constituents of the true angels, as the true angels are aspects and or constituents and or artworks of the chakras. You follow what I'm saying? Artworks of the chakras. Artwork, work. Virtues paint how your sacral chakra should reside and or the energy that it should be providing unto your conscious mind in order for your conscious mind to help you manifest through your body. If every father in reality stood on virtues our entire lives, none of us would have went through any of the things we went through at all. That is the significance of that reconnection line right there. That's the significance of that line. Having that specific father right there by the sacral chakra. That specific line. If we grew up with all things intact the right way and all of our fathers were growing up virtuous as great fathers, none of us would have went through the damages we went through at all. But here's the thing. We didn't know any better. Because you want to know what we knew? Worse. We all knew of worse. All of us did. That's why I say, you're auto-forgiven spiritually, but physically, I will never forgive any of you that breathe. Why? Because I'm just going to keep trying to trick talk you into doing better. Because if I feel sorry for you, that's just a chance for you to drag me back into this negative die slowly energy. But die guaranteed, no immortality. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward then. So, the sacral chakra is also the first step into the astral, the four-dimensional thinking mind. Well, not the first step into the astral, because it's still labeled and described as the etheric body, but it's still the first step into the four-dimensional thinking mind, being able to see to these degrees. And as far as my chakra tree Murdy parable, that's viewing it from, like I said, a cosmic display of the chakra hierarchy. I'm looking at it from a cosmic display of the chakra hierarchy. I'm measuring it from a cosmic display. And from a cosmic display or celestial display or a galactic display of the chakra hierarchy, you'll see that we only have one entire set of chakras. Go off the 9 chakra set. Go off that one. It'll make more sense to you. Go off of that one. Well, you'll notice that we have only one set of chakras, and it's the 9 chakras. And the second form within that chakra tree Murdy hierarchy, or chakra tree Murdy parable, is the true Jesus Christ himself. Your Jesus. My Yahweh Shai. I call him the Hebrew name. Or Yahuwah, right? Yahusha. Not Yahusha. Yahusha. That's the third eye chakra, the Vishuddha, and the heart chakra itself. Yahusha. That's the Yahusha I believe in. Right there. The Most High God is connected to Yahusha, and so am I. And my ways desire to be his ways. But in this world that is not his, which he is a constituent of, you all are against them. That just rolls into the other parable real quick. But I don't have to go too deep into it. Ready to move forward. But you get where I'm going, though. Maybe you do. Maybe you get where I'm going. Do apologize for it being a sizable video, but this is an important explanation. For me, it is. These words tear your foundation apart because they let us all know how to truly stand morally. These words let us all know how to truly stand morally, or at least the story within these words let us all know how to truly stand morally. And due to our knowledge of how to truly stand morally, all of this world tears apart because this world was built on chaos and immorality. So if morality and balance comes into the play, all of this gets destroyed. Or at least if the knowledge of how to be moral and balanced comes into the play, morally good and balanced, at least if that information comes into play, everything that is evil, chaotic, and imbalanced and immoral will dissipate. Or it'll give those who choose to stand on the natural grounds of the true Most High God, it'll give those a chance who desire to stand on the natural, true grounds of the Most High God. It'll give them a chance to see how the opposite standards approach us. And once we have the light on the high grounds, which will give us an overwhelming amount of chances to see how the opposite standards are moving toward us to force us to stand opposite than what we naturally stand, we can do what is necessary to stop them, even if it means completely stopping them. Moving forward. So, if it was not for the negative principalities and those who execute the negative principalities in real life unto our families for the sake of our separation and degeneration, if it wasn't for them and their approach towards us, none of us would have had any form of degeneracy within our lifespans. None of us would have, and we know these things. We just act like we don't know, which is actually the next chakra on the hierarchy, the solar plexus chakra. Who is the father of the life form of the life solar plexus chakra? Who is the form of the life solar plexus? A character, a video game character, another video game character. And it is Akuma from Street Fighter. Akuma from Street Fighter? But is he actually a father, though, on this parable? Is Akuma actually a father in the story? Well, you know what? There is some Street Fighter lore going around, and I have this what-if scenario in my head that I'm going to give some more detail to make Akuma actually be a father on this list, because it's all about father energy. It's not necessarily about fighting. It's not about violence. It's not about evil devils and being recognized as a devil because the world won't see you as anything else. I am not what the world wants me to be. I just pretend I am. I can't be what you want me to be because I got this other energy in me that's stopping me from being it. I can take advantage of it all day and say whatever I want, but at the end of the day, the energy in me still has control. Can't refute that, can't go against it, can't fight that. You can give me amnesia, and the energy in me would still have control. It's that powerful, really is. So yeah, I can say I'm the devil physically all day I want, but in reality, I can't be, literally. Literally cannot be the devil, even though I can say I am. Moving forward. So, Akuma is the father, is the form of the solar plexus chakra life. Because remember, solar plexus is internal. The physical video game character is external. And this one is Akuma. Been talking for an hour now. Doesn't matter. Move forward. So, Akuma is the next one. I'm going to go faster so I don't go any further or talk any longer. Akuma is the next father on the list here. Akuma from Street Fighter. What about my what if story? I have this what if story that makes Akuma be a father. So there's lore going around in the Street Fighter world that Ryu is Akuma's son. Ryu is Akuma's son. So who would Ryu's mother be? Who would Ryu's mother be? My guess is Kazumi from Tekken, meaning Kazuya's mother. Kazumi is what would have been Goki's one night fling, maybe, because they said in the lore that she did something for him. Well, what did she do? What if she helped him gain stabilization of that Akuma form of his? And he had to be intimate with her, just like in real life, in order to regain balance. You have to be intimate with your woman in order to regain balance in real life. That's something you all should know of. Solar plexus, conscious mind, have more knowledge in your head. Less bad energy, more better energy. Less bad energy, more better energy. More or only better energy. No